Alright, good morning guys. I wanted to do a little presentation, if you will. Not really. I went out walking corn and beans yesterday, and these are some beans I planted June, well, the first part of June, the first couple of days of June, I think the 2nd or 3rd. They're starting to put pods on, so they're about knee high when they're in the field. So, and they got pretty decent root structure. I didn't get the whole thing when I pulled this one out, but the ground's pretty hard, so it's hard to get a good, it's hard to go crop walking and pull a good sample out of the dirt. But yeah, we're starting to put pods on, and there are little pods coming everywhere on these. So these are a K-State variety bean, Kansas State University. So we'll have to see how they do. They are doing better than my channel, beans are. My channel beans got kind of the short stick. They got planted shortly after these did, and they didn't get a good rain to start off with, and they are looking pretty sickly. So we need some rain down here. That field I planted the 4th of July is a total loss. I think I have about 5% germination in that field. It's just been too hot and too dry for double crop beans this year. So a lot of people in my area that were stupid enough to try double crop soybeans after wheat on a dry year like this, they have bad luck with them also. So luckily I only have like 40 acres. So 40 acres of double crop out this year. So it's not a huge loss. It's big enough, but it's not farm ending. Anyway, the real stars of the show, what I wanted to see, and I have 3 different farms that I have corn on. The home place, I have some corn on, and then I have some corn down the road from me, and then I have some corn a little farther down the road from me on some rented ground. So I wanted to kind of go over and take a look at, I picked 2 ears from each field. I went into the middle of the field and just picked 2 random ears, not necessarily looking for the biggest or the smallest. So these 2 here are from the home farm. There's my hand. I got a tape measure here. So you can deduce for yourself how long those are. They're about, inch and a half in diameter, I'd say. They are, I believe these are 16 around. I did the math last night. I'm not very good at guessing yield, corn yield anyway. It's just so hard to guess. So, especially on a dry year like this, it's hard to it's just hard to figure. But yeah, they're pretty good looking cobs. Now these have been sitting in here all night, so they're pretty dented up. It wasn't like this when I pulled them out yesterday. In fact, a lot of these have maturing yet to do. They will fill out a little better. So yeah, pretty decent. And this one I tipped off because it had, that much that wasn't filled out yet. It wasn't damaged or, anything. It just hadn't matured yet, so I just topped it off because it wasn't appeasing to the eye. But no, this is pretty decent looking corn for as dry as we've been. So this is from the home place, ground that we've owned since 1860 something. So doing pretty decent. So, and this is upland here on the home place. I don't have any bottom ground on the home farm. It's all upland, dry, non-irrigated corn. So we have kind of a sandy loam here where I am right now. Nice black sandy loam. So this is from a field close to the house. It's not ours, but it's down the road a few miles. And we are looking. Yeah, we're a solid 8 on those. So they're about the same as the ones off of the home farm, I would say. Not a whole not a whole lot of size difference anyway. I think these two are a little bit bigger. This ground is getting closer to some bottom ground. It's about a quarter mile away from this last field I have, which is bottom ground. So it does get some more groundwater than these do. But anyway, the corn on the home place looks really good for dry upland corn, especially for as dry as it's been this year. So anyway, very happy with both of these. But the real stars of the show are the bottom ground corn. And this field always does real well. When I was shucking this corn, I was getting wet, like my hands were getting covered in water. So there's plenty of groundwater, and hell, this one's almost 10 inches. So plenty of groundwater in the bottom ground field there. Subsoil moisture, but no, these filled out. This is all channel corn. I planted all channel this year. I have a very, very good dealer in my area. His name is Matt Corwine. If you're in northeast Kansas or eastern Kansas, you need to get a hold of him. He's a good dude. So, but anyway, yeah, these are some big old long ears. So this is, I know it's not. This is not. Probably not anything compared to what you boys in Iowa and, you know, the Three Eyes, Indiana, Iowa, and Illinois see, but this is really, really good corn for Kansas anyway, especially for as dry as it's been this year. So, and, you know, this dry upland corn here is no slouch. I am very, very pleased with the way the ears filled out. And here's an average ear for the home farm. I put it next to the bottom ground ear. There's not entirely too much difference as far as length goes, but this corn here is girthier, and it does have more kernels on it. You can blatantly see it's bigger around. So anyway, it's all, and these are all three different varieties too. I planted three. These two are an upland variety, which are somewhat drought tolerant, and then this is a bottom ground variety that Channel's been tried and true with for a long time. So anyway, I just figured I would show you how really, really abnormally good the corn is looking for this dry year. If we would have had enough rain this spring, or more rain than we've had, I would say this is about normal. But if we would have had some rain, this would have been 250 bushel corn. I have no doubt about that. So if my calculations are correct, this bottom ground is going to be knocking on 200. And then these two are going to be knocking on 150, 175 bushel an acre. So I don't pride myself on being very accurate with that, but I've been pretty close in the past, so we'll see what happens when I actually get it in the truck and to the elevator, and we see what happens. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And you know, I'm really happy with the beans. These beans I planted, I am just thoroughly pleased. There's a lot more pods on here than I was expecting there to be, and there's flowers everywhere on here. So I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty decent bean yield this year too. I just can't believe how things are going with this dry. We haven't had any rain here measurable. We had a quarter inch one time, but other than that, we haven't had any kind of measurable rain since June 20th. So it's been a long time. It's been over a month that we haven't had, you know, basically a drop of rain. So, and that June 20th was only an inch 20, I think, was what we got there. So it wasn't a frog strangler of any means anyway. So we're 8 inches down from where we should be still this year. So for the corn and the beans to be looking this good is a miracle nonetheless. I don't want to take anything away from anybody who has you know, helped me get where I am today, but the good Lord is definitely watching over the farm this year as far as that goes. So, but anyway, we are getting the old corn and soybean special, ready for corn harvest. I got the corn header put on and just getting a few things addressed and hooked up and whatnot, but yeah, I think that's it. We got the I got the charging problem with this figured out. It wasn't charging, but it ended up being a wire had come unhooked, so I put a new connector on it and put it back on, and we're going good now. So I bought an alternator to keep in the cab just in case. I have a couple fields that for soybeans anyway that are a little ways from home, and I would I'm just going to put the alternator here in the cab with me for when I need it, if I do. So anyway, so yeah, that's what we're working on today. My neighbor, we are hurting for hay, something fierce around here lately. And my neighbor came over a couple days ago and asked if he could hay the rest of our back 80, our hay ground here on the home place, and I said sure. So he's going to be here this evening to get it all laid down. And I've got a lady that needs a bunch of square bales, so I'm going to take what I need out of what he lays down. And then I think there's somewhere around 50 acres left back there that I haven't cut yet this year. And I'm going to bale the bales I need to satisfy this lady that wants bales, and then whatever is left, he and I are going to work out a deal with that. So, yeah, but I picked up 5 acres about 3 miles away, and another 5 acres about 8 miles away of hay ground this year. So I will be getting video of cutting and raking that. I won't be doing any more cutting on the home farm this year. Sounds like my neighbor's going to come and mow it all for me this evening. So home farm hay time is done, except for baling. I've got quite a bit of baling to do yet here on the home place, but I'll definitely be getting some more cutting, raking, and baling videos from this other ground I picked up recently. So another update, I painted the 1086. I just gave it a little, I just did the red, I didn't do anything else, as you can tell. I need to get this cleaned up right here so I can get a new decal put on, and I want to put some kind of a insulation or something, heat tape or something on the back side so it doesn't burn the sticker off again this time. But that's pretty rough there. I'm gonna have to really do some work with that. But for right now, she sits in the shed. I don't use it hardly at all this time of year. When fall tillage gets into full swing, I will get it back out and maybe do something with those decals. But got the regular K put back away. I shouldn't need him until next wheat harvest next summer, so he's away for the next year probably. I still got this guy's Farmall H in here. I haven't touched it since probably May. I'm still waiting on him to send me a couple parts and pieces for it, so we are kind of where we are with that. The 656 still sitting back there. I need to get this combine moved out of here because I need to use that guy to bale with here in a couple days once this hay that my neighbor's going to lay down gets dry. So anyway, that's kind of what we got going on. There hasn't been much farming going on in the last few days because we've been supposed to be having all this rain. Didn't get a drop, but my luck would have been laying hay down and it would have got 3 inches on top of it. So we've just kind of been running errands in town and working on the combine here in the shop and different things like that. Nothing too exciting. So y'all haven't missed much. And that's pretty much all I got for today. It's a beautiful morning here. I think it's about 63 or 64 degrees. It's gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. So perfect morning to be out working in the shop. I went out and picked the garden this morning, got another tub full of cherry tomatoes and 2 cucumbers again. So very happy with the garden this year. I've got the water turned on it now. So anyway, we will talk to you guys later, and let me know what your guys' corn looks like as far as ears go. and beans. A bean tour would be great from you guys too. I just kind of want to know what the rest of the country's doing, as far as setting pods and as far as how the corn looks everywhere else. So comment and let me know. Thanks, guys. Bye.